Hey everybody, Arnaldo Hoffman here of Gear It First, and today I want to talk to you about mirror balls, disco balls. It's the cheesiest and the greatest effect ever, right? Now what I mean by cheesy is when you talk to a client and you ask them, well, what did your DJ have last year? Like for example, for a school or a corporate event, oh, well, you know, he had some mirror balls, and you know, if he didn't have a mirror ball, people just call it mirror balls. Doesn't matter what it is. It's almost like, you know, we call Kleenex, anything that's a tissue, even though that's a brand. Well, it's the same thing with mirror balls. Because of that, mirror balls get a bad reputation. But with the proper lighting design, mirror balls can be the most powerful thing you have. It's also one of the biggest money makers for us. Because you see, before, to do a mirror ball properly, you had to hang it over the crowd. Because there really was no way to get a mirror ball up in the air except hanging it. Well, most hotels don't let you hang it, so now you have to do trussing over the floor. And this one little item that the school wanted to really help carry their theme over suddenly becomes more and more money stacked on top. But now this has been happening to me this year more than ever. They look at the price of the extra trussing and the pipe and drape and photo booth, and it's over their budget. And I mean legit over their budget. Even I couldn't make those numbers work. But the mirror ball is something really important. So what do? Do we make the truss smaller or do we come up with an entirely different design? Well, we came up with an entirely different design, but now the trussing can't be over the dance floor. So I did what any person would do, and I wasted some time on Instagram, because I'm like, screw it, I don't even want to think about this right now. And I ran into Eliminator's page, which I follow on Instagram, and you should too. And they were talking about the MBSK. Now, for a bit, I've had their mirror ball, and I loved it, but went ahead and got the whole kit. So this review is really going to talk about their mirror ball, the event bag for the mirror ball, and the MBSK. Now the MBSK, as you can imagine, stands for Mirror Ball something kit. You know, I thought I had that right off the top of my head, and clearly I don't. All I know is that this thing has been an absolute lifesaver. And for the price and what you get, it's phenomenal. Stay tuned here on Gear It First. Intro. First of all, let's talk about the mirror ball and the bag. We'll worry about the actual kit in a minute. Bag, super duty, heavy padded. It holds my 20-inch mirror ball and makes it super easy to carry. This is much better than the alternative kit that we used, which was a cardboard box, because nobody ever really made a bag appropriate for a mirror ball. But let's go ahead and open this guy up. Plenty of padding. I am happy to say this is the first time that we've transported a mirror ball and that we did not have all the mirrors falling out of it after the first time. The actual Eliminator mirror ball itself is great though, because first of all, the mirrors are a lot smaller. Now what that means is you're going to get a lot more beams out of it, and it's just a much prettier look. Our other mirror ball, the mirrors were almost the size of 4 of these mirrors combined, and it looked bougie. There's no other way to describe it. On the back side here, you've got this, I guess is the bottom part, because really what a mirror ball is just a big giant styrofoam ball covered with tons of mirrors and a metal rod in the middle. But what I like about this little metal piece that's on the bottom, my other mirror ball didn't have that, is that while we get the motor and stuff set up, it's not resting on the mirrors directly. And Eliminator knew this when they came up with a design. On the top part, I'm gonna put it right back on the bag, and it's still resting on that metal pin, so it's awesome. I'm not worried about this knocking out mirrors or anything. But over here on the top, we've got the hook. Notice that the hook here, I had to peel a mirror back so you could see it, but notice that the hook isn't just resting on a wooden dowel. And yes, some mirror balls out there use wooden dowels or a small metal dowel. This is actually going around what seems to be a metal safe with a couple of rivets, I guess. It's got a big old metal washer around it. It's welded on there. And this is not sitting on styrofoam. It's sitting on rubber. Now that gives the mirror ball a little bit more heft, but it also means the mirrors are more likely to stay on because nothing really sticks on to styrofoam. On the other side here, we've got this hook. Now that's for a safety cable. Now obviously the safety cable does not go around your trussing because after a while it's going to wrap itself around. Instead, you would basically have this going around the actual motor itself. But that's it in a nutshell there. But then you have to find a way to hang the mirror ball. Now before, a lot of DJs would have to make their own kit some way, somehow. If you guys remember DJ Mikey Mike's Do It From Scratch, he made these really cool mounts. but most DJs should not do any DIY projects for the life of them because they're not as handy as they are as Mikey Mike. Let's be honest, dude's an engineer. He did incredible videos. It gave us some inspiration. I tried doing it. It looked awful. So Eliminator kind of had that in mind, and they came up with an MBSK. Now, the actual kit comes with a bag, comes with this hooked mount here. It comes with a motor, and the cable discreetly comes down from here. So we're not having a cable go all the way from the top, right? And a lot of our do-it-yourself kits that we've done, well, you kind of have to have the cable all the way down and try to make it pretty, but it doesn't look anywhere as pretty as this. And then the cable itself has a little on-off switch. Nifty. All right, now, we would know that the mirror ball would basically go inside, go on the top, there it is there. We plug it in, it turns on, and ta-da, beautiful. Notice something though, and I know this is gonna bug a lot of you guys, but this doesn't match, right? We've got this all pretty white, and now we've got this black tripod. And I know a lot of you guys are a big fan of scrims, which the MBSK, the Decor MBSK kit comes with. So we're gonna go ahead and get that set up with the mirror ball still attached. You get your mirror ball, you get the event bag, you get the Decor MBSK mount with the motor, the stand, and it's a nice quality stand too, and a scrim that was perfectly cut and sized for this at different sizes on the stand. And you also get the bag for that too. All in one neat little package and a stupid, ridiculous price. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't use the stand often. But I love the fact that this is a regular standard tripod stand, right? So if you need something taller, I've actually put these on the DuraTrust DT3800 from Global Trust America. So we had an event where they wanted a mirror ball and I needed that sucker way up high, so we attached it to it and it looked amazing. We wrapped some of the drapes around it and it looked great. You couldn't even tell there was a stand there. Other options you could do is if you're doing pipe and drape, and obviously make sure you're using the appropriate base for this, but if you're doing pipe and drape and you have the new ball joint crowns with a mount on the top, you could take the SAP mount from Global Trust, attach it to this, and then mount that SAP mount to your pipe and drape. So now you've got your pipe and drape around the room, make sure you're using a heavy duty base, and then you attach that on there. Again, rigging and all that, that's your responsibility. Don't blame me if you do something dumb. The other way that you could also use this is, for example, if you're doing a truss setup over the floor and maybe after you set it up, let's say it's only 10 feet high, you're like, I can't set this up. If somebody goes up and hits it, it's gonna be a disaster. Well, again, you could use the SAP mount. You could mount it to, for example, one of the heavy duty clamps from Global Trust, or even a narrow clamp would work. Mount that on the truss, SAP straight up on the top, and then you can mount this on there. Obviously, make sure you use safety cables, but you mount that on there, you lock it in, and you could have this on top of the truss. So you don't have to bring your truss up another extra foot to be able to do a mirror ball, because this can now sit on top of your mirror ball. Doesn't matter what you do, the point is that there's a lot of creative uses that you would be able to use the MBSK. So let's recap on what you get, because when you go online and you look at the price, you're like, wow, this is insanely affordable, and it is. And there is no catch, it's all high quality stuff. You get the really pretty mirror ball, right? I chose the 20-inch mirror ball. They got a couple of smaller sizes, but go big or go home. 20 inches is a perfect size for my events. It's got the small mirrors. It is attached to an actual like rubber type surface. You have your bottom point here, so that way it doesn't come, you're not slamming the ball down directly in the mirrors. You have your motor. The motor has your cable with a power switch. The cable is nice and organized because it goes down inside the actual mount. Goes down here, hides behind the scrim, which is included with the MBSK. That sits on the stand, which is included in the MBSK. And when it's time to put everything up, put it up in bags, and you're done. Easy come, easy go, and you are out of there in one of the easiest upsells that you can do for a client. Because let's face it, whether we as lighting designers are tired of everything being called a mirror ball, clients are calling it that because that is an effect that they think of when they think of lights. So find a way to incorporate that into your themes, and it doesn't just necessarily have to be a disco theme. I've done rave themes, neon type themes, because we can point the moving heads at the mirror ball and get the colors to change and strobe and do some cool stuff. We've pointed blacklight cannons and had, or even blacklight filters on the moving heads and just had tons of little UV dots, and now you're seeing all the white on the dance floor literally glimmer. There's just a lot of different cool options. Mirror balls are popular. People like them. They create an effect that no other light can, because it can be a 360 effect around the dance floor. It can be pretty much a 180 around the whole dance floor and not hit it behind you. There's just some unique ways. And Eliminator, what they have done is they've taken the concept and made it super portable, affordable, without cutting out any quality. The Decor MBSK is an absolute favorite part of my toolbox, and I know it'll be one of your favorites too. So, you know what to do. You're gonna leave a comment, do the thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't care. Either or gets YouTube to say, hey, this must be a popular video. So, thumbs up, thumbs down, it doesn't matter. And most importantly, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment below, and if you purchase one, let Eliminator know where you heard it first at. And that's Gear It First. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great night, and God bless. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Gear It First, honest reviews, incredible gig logs, lots of tips and tricks, and more tutorials than any other YouTube channel. I guarantee it, or your money back.